Hi, friends, it's Sister Marla Clerks. A number of years ago, someone very important to me stopped speaking with me, and it came on all of a sudden. And I would ask, is there something that I've done, something that I didn't do, something that I said? And all they would say is, you know what it was. And honestly, I didn't. No matter how I searched my soul, no matter how I thought about my words or my actions, I honestly could not come up with what it might have been. And I would say that to this person and say, whatever it is, I apologize. If you could tell me more specifics, I could maybe do more to make it right. But they never did. Even though I would have people who knew both of us ask them on my behalf to find out if they could what it was I had done. But that person never shared any more. And then just as quickly as it started, it ended. And for a while, the relationship was a little strained. And now I do think it's a thing of the past. It might come up once in a while when they say, a number of years back, there was some distance between us. And I still say, but I have no idea what that was. It used to bother me. When I would think about it, I'd feel a sense of guilt, wondering what it was I had done, wondering why they wouldn't tell me. And then one night while I was praying in bed, I simply said, God, I give this to you. I hand it over to you. I can't do anything about it, but you can. And almost immediately, I felt this sense of peace come over me. So even though it is still part of our past, if it comes up in conversation, I no longer feel that desire to know more about it. I no longer want to find out more if I can, because I can remind myself, God, I've given it over to you. And what a difference that has made for me. And I think of that story when I think of part of the gospel this weekend of the woman who has been hemorrhaging for 12 years. Many doctors have tried to heal her. She spent everything that she has on getting medical treatment. And in fact, some have actually made her situation worse. And so she knows that Jesus is coming to the area. And she goes out not to talk to him, but to encounter him in a small, small way, in an insignificant way, in a way where she doesn't have to let herself be known. She goes up and touches the hem of his garment, and immediately she feels that healing presence. Jesus is aware that some power has gone out of him, and so he wonders who it was. Peter says, there's so many people pressing in on you. There's no way we can find out. But she hears him say that, and she comes forward and says, it was me. And Jesus says, go, your faith has healed you. A friend of mine talks about the first 3 steps in AA of acknowledging your powerlessness, acknowledging that there is a being greater than you are, and turning that over to that higher power. And she states it in a very simple way. I can't, God can, I'll let him. That is what I did with the person who wouldn't speak to me. I couldn't do anything about it. I knew God could do something about it, and so I put it before God and said, I can't do this, God. Please bring about that healing. I turn it over to you. The woman did the same thing. She probably maybe tried to heal herself. She knew something was wrong. She couldn't do anything about it. She went to others, and they couldn't do anything about it. And so she knew God could. She knew Jesus could. And so she let him. How many times in our lives, friends, do we get stuck in that first step where we know we can't do it? We come to a point where we've tried so many times, we have to acknowledge, I can't do this myself. I don't know how to do this. We may even get to that second stage where we say, but I know God can. But do we stop there? Do we go to that third step and say, so I'll let God? I can't. I know God can. And so I'll turn it over to God. And I'll let God do what needs to be done. I'll let God take charge of my life. I'll let God do whatever it is that God deems fitting for me and for others. I think it's a powerful lesson for all of us to remember those moments where we try too hard to make it on our own, where we might allow ourselves to get frustrated or feel defeated because we can't do it. And again, we need to acknowledge that even though we can't, God can, if only we let God.